In a recent video, I talked about car reliability and how it's changed over the years. So today, let's look at the materials that cars are made of, which ones are best and why. So hop in and let's go for a spin. Today, car manufacturers use a lot of various materials in the industry. We're talking about iron, aluminum, plastic, carbon fiber, fiberglass, rubber, glass, petroleum products, copper, steel, magnesium, and others. Even soy-based materials. These materials are used to create just about everything from the little things we don't think about, like the dashboard needle or the halogen light bulbs, to the bigger, more significant things like the engine block and transmission gears. In the past, cars were neither fuel efficient nor economical. Consumers valued what was pragmatic. However, modern consumers today want beyond basic functionality. They also want efficiency, safety, comfort, and style. That's why it's smart to consider the materials a car is made of. For instance, did you know that a car that's made with the most efficient materials will help reduce fuel consumption while still providing the necessary safety features? Let's talk about steel. It's a heavy material, it's strong, and it can absorb impact. That's why car makers usually use steel in the frame of the car. It's the common material on a car. In fact, about 55% of a car's weight is from steel. A typical car can contain some 2,400 pounds of steel. An average SUV or light truck can have 3,000 pounds of steel. Steel is often used to create the main chassis under the body. Think of it as the skeleton of the car. Structural elements like door beams, support beams, roofs, door panels, body panels, and other various parts where the engine and other parts are located are also made of steel. Steel is often used in the exhaust pipes and mufflers. Steel production has undergone significant changes in recent years. Over the decades, engineers have improved steel to make it lighter, stronger, and stiffer than before. Car makers make different types of steel for different parts of the car. It can be produced to be rigid or made to crumple to absorb impact. Its characteristics such as thermal, chemical, or mechanical resistance, production efficiency, and durability are key reasons why car makers prefer steel. Let's talk about aluminum. It's also a durable metal, but it's lighter than steel and doesn't rust. That's why the use of aluminum has grown to more than 80% in recent years. Car makers widely use it in chassis and body construction. In the chassis, aluminum is used in the wheels, brackets, brake components, suspension, steering components, and instrument panels. Ever hear about body in white or BIW? It's the stage of automotive manufacturing where the car's body frame is joined together before painting and before the motor, chassis subassemblies, or trim are integrated into the frame. In a steel construction, stamped body parts are spot welded together. And it's to that frame that the stamped steel fenders, doors, hood, and deck get bolted. Well, car makers have seen that they can reduce the use of steel by up to 50% and thereby significantly reduce the car's weight by some 20 to 30% if they substitute that with aluminum panels. Lighter performance vehicles especially benefit from this. Think of the Acura NSX from the early 1990s and the new Audi R8. Actually, many supercars are built from aluminum, and more automakers are switching from traditional iron engines to an aluminum construction. One of the main trends now lies in the engine block. This is one of the heaviest parts of a car. In the past, they typically used cast iron, but now more manufacturers are switching to aluminum, so we're talking about a huge weight loss. Today, aluminum casting is used for almost 100% of pistons, 75% of cylinder heads, and 85% of intake manifolds and transmissions. It's also used for about 40% of the wheels, as well as brackets, brake components, suspension, and steering components. But more recently, car makers have been increasing efforts to develop more ways to use wrought aluminum than aluminum casting. For example, forged wheels are used when loading conditions are extreme or where higher mechanical properties are needed. You can see the trend yourself. In 1970, aluminum accounted for just 2% of all vehicle components. 1990 was 5%. By 2009, aluminum components accounted for 9% of a car's weight. Today, usage of aluminum in the car industry has grown by more than 80%. And since it's also much cheaper than steel, it also accounts for up to 15% of the total number of auto parts. Magnesium is another light metal that is becoming more common in the car industry. It is 33% lighter than aluminum and 75% lighter than steel and cast iron components. Magnesium has higher tensile strength, fatigue strength, and creep strength compared to aluminum. Moreover, its thermal expansion coefficient is higher. Pure magnesium alone can't be used because of its low mechanical strength, so it must be alloyed with something else. Typically, common alloys can include aluminum, magnesium, or zinc. These allow the magnesium to be used in cars. For example, the steering wheel core, steering column, car seat frame, transfer case, wheel rims, clutch housing, air comfort compressor brackets, power steering pump, generator, dashboard, and the interior door structure. Even the body structure and some parts of the engine will be made of aluminum with the addition of magnesium. This material has been used for these parts since 1930. Compared to aluminum, magnesium is easier to manufacture, has a longer die life, and faster curing due to lower latent heat. This means more castings can be produced per unit at a time compared to aluminum, so it's cheaper to make. Also, magnesium components have higher machinability with better surface quality. Okay, by now we all know that the less weight in a car, the further it can travel with the same amount of fuel. In a similar way, light metals can improve fuel efficiency more than any other factor. For example, studies have shown that a 10% reduction in weight can result in a 6 to 10% reduction in fuel consumption. Car makers want to achieve higher fuel efficiency, minimize weight, and reduce environmental impacts. That's why they're focusing on developing and applying new materials. For example, carbon fiber or composites. It has great advantages over steel, but many plastics and polymer composites are significantly less dense than most metals and alloys, so sometimes they weigh less but still have similar tensile strength. Composites are believed to make cars safer, lighter, and as a result, more fuel efficient. Composite material can be composed of high-quality fibers such as carbon fiber or glass fiber, combined with an epoxy polymer. This combination results in properties that are better than the individual materials by themselves. The carbon fiber composite weighs about 5 times less than steel, but is in no way inferior to it in terms of rigidity and strength. Lightweight, multi-layer composite laminates can be designed to absorb more energy in a car collision compared to single-layer steel. They don't rust and corrode like steel or aluminum, and therefore won't degrade. They can also significantly increase the fuel economy of a vehicle by reducing its weight by up to 60%. Another advantage of carbon over steel is it can be used to create larger integrated structures. For example, when designing the chassis of a vehicle, composite materials will result in fewer, so to speak, joints, which in turn further reduce weight. But don't jump to conclusions just yet. It's not a miracle solution for everything either. The problem with modern composites, including carbon, is that they were initially developed for the aerospace industry. This is a space where costs aren't necessarily a primary concern. We all know that NASA doesn't count money like ordinary companies. So if you consider that a car maker's cost for carbon fiber composites can be at least 20 times more than steel, well, you can see why most car makers aren't quick to jump to stock up their inventory of carbon fiber. At least not until the price of carbon fiber drops significantly. For decades, advanced plastics and polymer composites have helped improve the appearance, functionality, and safety of vehicles while reducing weight and delivering superior value to customers. We could say that these composites are mainly for consumers with deep pockets. Carbon fiber is largely used in the production of high-quality sports and racing cars. Take Pagani, for example. But the good news currently is that the car industry as a whole is in the process of developing affordable carbon fiber. I'm hopeful that by 2030, plastics and polymer composites will not be considered a high-end luxury, but will become a more standard material that can provide weight reduction, increase strength, and increase the efficiency and economy of our cars. If or when that happens, well, then Pagani won't be the only sports car made of composite materials in America. There are other materials used in cars like titanium, copper, or plastic. Titanium is an expensive metal, but some companies are using it in metal parts where steel and aluminum have traditionally been used. It is mainly used in high-temperature areas and areas requiring maximum strength, such as exhaust systems, suspension springs, valves, and connecting rods. Another material is fiberglass. It has non-corrosive properties, so it's beneficial for use in areas where steel may corrode. Fiberglass is also fire resistant. In the event of an accident, users have a better chance of getting out of a car unharmed. It's also used in front bumpers, doors, roofs, casings, wheels, and as an insulating material for our cars. Material science in the car industry has evolved significantly over the decades. Today, we have better technology than ever before, and this means car makers know what materials are more high-tech, higher quality, and offer improved safety. In considering any material, they weigh the thermal, chemical, or mechanical resistance, manufacturing efficiency, and durability. The engineering community has man-made creative materials which continue to lay the foundation for newer technologies. The use of state-of-the-art materials impacts the durability, construction, and even the speed of your vehicle. And since different metals have different levels of strength, different combinations in the construction of the car can improve its aesthetics and quality, allowing you to get the very best. So the next time you're in the seat of a car, just take a moment to appreciate all the math and science that's gone into designing your car. Your single vehicle is a culmination of decades of research and development in material science as well as in other fields. To wrap it up, let's summarize briefly. The main reason for using steel in body structure is its inherent ability to absorb impact energy in a collision. The use of aluminum, however, reduces the weight of the car body. Recent developments have shown that 50% reduction in weight for a body-in-white frame can be achieved by replacing steel with aluminum. Carbon is very expensive, but it provides even greater weight savings without compromising quality and increases the strength of the car body. But now you tell me, have you ever driven a car that had carbon fiber components? Please share your experience or opinion by commenting below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your support.